Welcome again, ladies and gentlemen. This is Douglas Chilombo on In the Angelic Light Media News. This is the second video of a half an hour. So if you have a chance, you can look back. I just streamed one. It's a 15-minute video for you all. That was an introductions for the new coming back. Thank you very much for joining us. Today we're going to be talking about Fury, Mr. Trudeau, and I know you guys are thousands across the world, millions of following what's going on in Canada. What's going on in Canada right now? We have a government who's losing control about everything. The government is losing control, and Mr. Trudeau, that I love so much, and who you guys know I've been supporting since day one, is losing it. What happened? What happened, I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is that the COVID created by Chinese people, we have to mention it. Not that I'm prejudiced, but I'm just saying the truth, is being created by Chinese people. We overcame COVID-19 in a numerous number of things. I personally am vaccinated pretty much twice, but a lot of people don't want to get vaccinated. They say that getting vaccinated is not something that we should have put it mandatory. It's something willingly. They're free to take their guns, go around shooting people, killing people. It's normal. It's like carrying my Omicron virus and being a COVID-19. For them, it's also normal. It's free to go around breaking stores, stealing people's stuff. It's normal. There are no laws. And they don't want to get vaccinated because guess what? They're claiming about freedom. Freedom that I am trying to explain to you what freedom is. Freedom gets you in a boundary to keep yourself safe and to respect the law and live as citizen abide in the law, whatever, however you want to make it. All due respect to you. It's not like I'm under looking this situation, but I do believe that the freedom is for you to do something that is right. What is right is to follow the protocols that the health of Canada is putting in place and being systematically, in compliance of what's going on around. And what we have seen these days that we have people that are crossing the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll put it at two levels. The first level is that they started these fights a long time ago. People don't know about it. They started these fights a long time ago to be essential or not essential worker. That was what started as a fight. They wanted to be essential worker way back in the days. The problem was taken into a matter of the government, and they were established way back in the days as being essential worker. Now, as they've been an essential worker, it means that they have to stay working hard and continue to be on spot, providing food for the country. Tough job, due respect. It's very hard, traveling thousands of miles, hundreds of miles, getting food, bring it to the country, put it to the shelves, so that the big industry, food industry, may have what to supply for the common people like me and you and the rest of the country, right? So we have a big respect to traveling from Ottawa to Vancouver, from Vancouver to Alberta. They're going to Quebec. They're traveling across the country. And I can tell you that it's not a simple job because most of them are carrying goods that are very dangerous. They need to be careful on the road. They have engines that are huge. They're very huge. And most likely the weight, the speed, and everything makes the work very, very difficult. They need to do maybe one trip a day, and they need to rest. Sometimes they have a resting station. I travel a long distance, 24 hours a day, so I know where they go rest, and I've seen those layouts. It's very difficult as a job. And I do encourage them to continue to do a wonderful job for the country. And as a Canadian, I cannot undermine what they've been doing, ladies and gentlemen. They had been the heart of this country. They had been the legs of and arm and the eyes and the ears of this country, crossing the border, the United States of America, bringing any sorts of steel metal, milk, lumber, and I'm telling you, it's $2 billion industry that we're talking about here. We're not talking about a few common people that decided to go nuts against the government. No, we're talking about a $2 billion industry that goes through the automobile to different type of things that, as I'm mentioning throughout this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the heart of even NAFTA. NAFTA itself is the agreement that we have with the United States of America and we have with Mexico, goes with the trucker going crossing the border and doing what sustain this country, brings the peace of the economy, brings the peace of money in this country, and creates thousands and thousands of jobs. We are not talking singularly about a group of people who are actually claiming to be vaccinated or not vaccinated. We're talking about the transaction that goes around the country, over the border, crossing the Ambassador Bridge, crossing different bridges where we have millions of millions, even $2 billion, if we have to be correct, that interfering and interacting to bring the economy of this country down or up, regardless of how you want to put it. They had been established as essential workers. But for some reason, since Mr. Trudeau, what he was doing as a mistake, this is the mistake he was doing. Every time that the number looked good to him, he will come and will release the people to go back to normal. And what will happen later on, people will go back to drink and dance and stuff like that. And the next week, we have more cases of COVID breakout because people did not get vaccinated. And as the number looked good on the papers, but the people's social life didn't look good. So some clean carrier, because there are some people they have no symptoms, but they are carriers of the symptoms, but they don't have it physically, they don't display it physically. So these people goes around and contaminating the rest of the pattern. And what we have, and as soon as we release people from the regular thing, the next month the COVID cases goes even higher, and we have to go back to confinement. So we were one of the people that we reached out to Mr. Trudeau, said, no, listen up. This time we need to, reach a big number. Not personally me, what I'm saying? I said the people. We reached out to Mr. Trudeau, looking at the circumstances and what was going on around. So we suggested it to the government of Ottawa. Next time, before you release people to go back into a normal leisure, you have to make sure that we reach the highest number of people get vaccinated. So they took it into heart, and you guys know, ladies and gentlemen, that we went to the elections, and from the elections, Mr. Trudeau just passed in his government 105 and 106 days ago, a new government. I know anytime that we talk about Canada, you rings hundreds of thousands of years ago. No, there's no 100 years ago. The new government is only 106 days ago. So yes, the institution, from Mr. Samuel Champlain to Mr. Jean Cartier to Mr. We're talking about 100 years ago. Those are institutions, Mr. John McDonald's, and you're talking about those people, but it's 100 years ago. We're talking about the government as the office. As the institution, ladies and gentlemen, it's 350 years for the Quebec and even more. And we have 150 and 158, 56 even for Canada. So we're talking about institution. We have been here for a long time. But for the office, we only had people in the office 106 days ago because the old minister changed for the new minister. And the new minister, as we look to the chart, most of them are young folks that, even though they're smarter, they are yes men people. We talk about it later on. Yes men people, we talk about it. We talk about it. Let's continue this logic. The mandate came in from Mr. Trudeau that kicked in on January 18, 2022, at the beginning of pretty much in the midway of the January. Mr. Trudeau made it like a mandate so that everybody has to be vaccinated before you do anything. You want to go to liquor store, you need to be vaccinated. You go to McDonald's, you need to be vaccinated. You need to go to work, you need to be vaccinated. Now everybody has to know two vaccine your age, three vaccine your age, one vaccine your age, so on. Everybody has to respect that. For the rest of us, I know you guys have watched the I Am the Legend with the Will Smith, where everybody got cured from a cancer, and the whole world got cured from a cancer, and suddenly everybody becomes zombies because they got cured from the cancer. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, that's a movie. It's a movie idea. It's fiction, if you have to say true. But it may happen. It may happen that the vaccine that we're getting today is so lethal that I today don't even know what I'm talking about, telling you that it's okay. Tomorrow I'm gonna be running like I am a zombie. No, 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 no. But today I have faith in what people are doing, and I believe that scientifically talking, it had been tested to the different subject. Today we have a vaccine is not to stop the COVID itself, but to make you immune to the system, so that whenever you come across it, you are more in immunity to resist the contamination than not being protected with an immune system. It's just an immune system. But unfortunately, thousands of people did not receive the message as am simply putting it for myself and my family. So they decided to call for freedom. Why? Because it's been 2 years, day after day, that we have been confined. Remember, it was February 2020 when we received, about the 6th of February 2020, when we received the message about the COVID. By the 11th of February, the country was shut down. By today, pretty much, the country was shut down. The new rules came in effect. You need to come back in the country. You need 2 weeks of confinement. I was myself in a world trip in some part of Africa. I wanted to check the government of the other country. We had such a wonderful things to go there. You know what I'm saying? Douglas Bees, Douglas Life. That's not to do with the personal people. But I knew because I got a call from my employer, one of the guys telling me that when you're coming home, don't show up because you have to isolate yourself for 2 weeks. It was a shock, like Trudeau took that kind of measure against thing. I thought it was really against me, literally, because that guy knew that I was going in Africa. He knew that for sure. But it's not like it's about me. But literally, sometimes you feel like coincidence too bad, and you're like, damn it. But anyway, love you, and I continue to respect you. Just giving you a feedback of what's going on. 2 years straight, we've been confined. 2 years straight, we have been wearing masks. I breathe hard in it. I'm having a hard, like I can't even stand that thingy. But this is the way to protect myself from not dying of COVID. This is myself to this is the way that I want to keep my family safe, and I continue every single one. Once in a while, I keep washing my hands, cleansing it, cleaning it with alcohol, whatever base of the potassium. I'll give you, ladies and gentlemen, with a beautiful picture. You do that, you know what's going on. In the 2 years, we got vaccine. We got a chance that God bless some genius people. They were figuring it out, and they did figure it out. They came out with the vaccine, and we are getting vaccinated. I did not want to get vaccinated in the first vaccination. I wanted a third round because I wanted the first wave of vaccinations started in England, and I let people get vaccinated so that if they have any adverse consequences, we will see from the adverse consequences. I waited for the second vaccines went through. Then the third one, I was like, you know what? It looks like stable to me. So I want to get with my family. So we good. Twice, done it. But other people feel like they shall not receive the vaccine because they are better than anybody else, or they're not better, they're scared, they're coward, or they're not coward, or do respect, they just don't want to believe in what's going on. Believing maybe you and I, we can agree, right? Maybe the believing that there's a huge conspiracy, what the government is trying to do to play with their mind, to control their mind, to control their lives, because the government has such a wonderful hidden people. Those the 1% of the people that control the world. You know, that's kind of theory. I share that at work all the time with people. The 1% of the rich people that control the world. Yeah, the 1% of the people that control the world, the thingy. No, we elect people. We have elections, and you given the choice to choose whomever you wanted to be in the office for you. In every single writings, you have candidates that show up and they tell you exactly their program. You like them, you choose whoever you like, and you elect them, and they get powerful. They join the MPs from the House of Commons, and from there, if they're good in the majority or the minority, they form a government. They become the elect of the government, and they start collecting our tax in our heads and using those funds to be rich and powerful. That's the conspiracy that we're doing. Subscribing in a taxpayer bracket so that the all country can work together. But no, some people still believe that there's a 1% of the people living in the underground world, or they live on Mars. Yeah, people are richer. I agree. Don't look at me down. I know. Billionaires are billionaires. I make a joke with you. Mr. Dre, what the call name is called again? Drake. That's what I was saying. Not Drake, Drake. He's a musician guy who gets 40 million views per video released in 1 week. I know some gamers in YouTube who has 160 million people and gets 60 million views per video release on YouTube. So Drake's, regardless of being a celebrity, got none into those kids. That's the conspiracy. Your brain works. So, all due respect and love to you. I love you. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. You're marvelous. But Leah, hear me out. Mr. Trudeau decided that because he keep on releasing people too early and keep on going back to the same strikes, boom, the number goes up, the health goes out, everybody has to go back in the confinement. This time he decided to, come up with some. Yes, let me say that, Mr. Trudeau, you hear me? It's a stupid idea. Sorry, you know that I love you, but I'm just analyzing here. Nothing personal. I'll clean it up later on. So he came up with some stupid idea to create a mandatory. I say that to him, and I continue to say loud and clear, ladies and gentlemen, you do not create mandate. Just stick on your vaccine passports. I didn't do that today. All day long, I was just saying the same thing to him, right? Like from a media perspective, I was telling him from the DTC Canada News. This is the Angelic Light Media News. So I was in the DTC Canada News, and I was talking from DTC Canada News. If you have a chance to go to DTC Canada News, please go to DTC Canada News. You see what will happen in the media perspective. And if you like to be the Angelic Light Media News, I love you to be the Angelic Light Media News because you are lovely. If you want to go to Officiel Official, you go there. Or if you want to go to say Quebec News, I love you. I have not even started that part of the channels because guess what? You guys are subscribing crazy. Mr. Local, we'll talk about it later on. Don't mix that stuff here. Let's continue, right? So what happened is that Mr. Trudeau come out with this policy. You want to make a mandate. You want to make everybody to be vaccinated. So companies, what they start doing, they start asking you, are you double vaccinated? No, I'm not double vaccinated. Are you also? Yeah. They start asking questions. So like me, I have my passport, so I just show it. You know what I'm saying? I pass by. Hey, I love being black. So you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be having trouble with anybody. So I got it done. You know what I'm saying? I got to pass by 3. You know what I'm saying? You guys know how I say that, you know how I put it, like let it get cracking, let it get popping, you know what I'm saying? Let's just pass through things, you know what I'm saying? That's beautiful. So thousands of people, they didn't just like it. How in the world, in a democratic country run by Sa Majesté la Reine, with the prime minister under the rules of, guys know how it goes down. So he didn't come in and it's like, you guys gotta get vaccinated. You don't get vaccinated, you don't do nothing. They get angry. They get mad. They decided to stomp Ottawa. Why? Because they believe they shall not, them, be vaccinated. Ladies and gentlemen, it's like somebody say, I want a gun to go in the streets and start shooting people because I'm a free man. It's like somebody saying, because I'm a free man, I'm going to go hijack everybody up. Yeah. Then you mean a violation of the law. Then you go to jail. That's what Trudeau said today, and he continued to say today. You want to break down to peaceful protest to the criminal offense, and you want to, put the bridge between your violations as citizens to the law-abiding people who want to go to work and do their lives peacefully. To your mindset of fighting an individual by the name of Trudeau who actually got nothing to do with the COVID, because guess what? As I said to you, the man control game. Ladies and gentlemen, we didn't create no COVID. COVID come from China. So Canadian government, by any means necessary, never, ever came up with a scheme of evil plan of sending the disease across the country so that the citizen may lose their freedom. It never happened. It never occurred to anybody. It never occurred to Mr. Trudeau. You know what I'm saying? The son of a Trudeau. It never really occurred to him. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, day one, we've been following, we've been together. So he made it to the prime minister. He's a deputy here from this place here. Yeah. From Saint Michel, right? We used to call Mr. Trudeau in a big party. He comes in a big party. We share the party. We share the banana together. We share the Christmas together. The deputy office. Yeah, he didn't have no problem with that. That's how he knows. We know him. He knows us from even being invited when before even he was a deputy. We used to invite him. We'll come to the party. We'll sit and chill. We talk. We laugh. We chill. And when he ran, we all voted for him. He became a deputy. That's why he loves Montreal. That's why he's a Montreal guy, because this is where he started his political vision. Not in Ottawa, not in British Columbia, not in Toronto, in Montreal. Here, in Saint Michel. Here. Papineau here, we see Papineau. He was there. He was just living here close to us here, and he was going to McGill University. So it's a friend of ours. I mean, in the sense of now bragging about it. But Mr. Trudeau is one of the nice guys that you guys can get around. You can talk about. You can remind him that the past beauties of time. He's gonna say, no, that's why guys. What's up with you guys? You still gonna have your party going on in December? I took my wife one day and Bonda Sawa. You saw what happened. How wonderful we were at a time, and this is what we used to do. We call big people. So we know the guy personally, not to brag about it. We know him as a young fella who actually were mingling with everybody. He has no intention to control the country as a dictator. This is not a Putin thing. And I say it, and I continue to say it. I was in a Dagla Chilombo official. I say it loud and clear. We had a 3 election throughout his reign. We had the 3 elections. Though we can kick him out of office only by the elections or by the vote of confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to mention the vote of confidence because you guys got to run quickly to the office so that you can look for the vote of confidence, or you screw up this, or you screw up that. No, forget about it. $650 million that we spent 4 months ago is ridiculous. Mr. Trudeau knows that. As I say, I'll clean up for you, sir. So he knows that. But we made that shirt way back in the days to prove to you that he's not a dictator, because from the NCC Lavalin, all things are going on. He was going after the Minister de la Justice. He was squeezing. So he got fed up of everybody. So to be called dictator, so he called out for the election 2 years before even his mandate terminated. So he made himself, he's like a champion who threw his belt to the challenger. Up to the challenger, take my belt. That's what we had 4 months ago. And through the elections, you guys know that he ended up to have a minority government. And from the minority government, he recently just made up himself a good government that he calls a new government of 2.0 for us to do whatever to do. And with that stupid, as I bracketed, he came up with a mandate. So let's send a message to Mr. Trudeau, like we love to, right? Right, Honorable. As I tweeted and I continue to tweet, let the local business policing your new policy. Leave the truckers alone. Leave the mandate alone. Make just the local business uphold your new policy. No entries, no boarding, no staying, no purchasing if you do not have your vaccine passport. Simple. We don't need to make a big a law to the annals of the Harwa. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to print it big like a chart of liberté or something. Like we just said across the world, you need your vaccine passport. They don't want to get vaccinated. Fine, let them be. The local business will teach them because after a while, they can't go to the liquor store. They can't go nowhere without having the passport. They will resume to go get vaccinated. That's it. So you made a mandate. It's like really when you say the word mandate and you are stirring up all the trouble, all the fight, because the people, they don't want to. They don't want to be obligated. I mean, like you feel like a mandatory. What is that supposed to be mandatory? Like I say. Unfortunately, you always gonna have 1,000 down people for one smart one. So be wiser and stay smarter as always, because the leadership in the country, it's always about leading blinds. Jesus say, blind that leads blind, they end up in the pit. Blind that leads blind, they end up in the pit. Whoever is leading you has to see. So right now, I don't think you have been seeing right things. And this is my personal opinion. I know I put in a public space, but you know very well that we mean well, because since you be in the power, a lot of things have been happening, a lot of things I've been doing for this country. And we wonderfully thank you for the great service, public service you're doing for this country. And you always stand forward and make sure that every equality and equity has been put in place. We're talking about women. Perenity. You did a lot of things that I'm proud of. We're proud of. We want to continue to work toward greater things that make this country move forward. But this is not gonna make the country move forward because we have people who believe simply in their mindset they shall be left alone. It's like somebody that wakes up in the morning saying, "I don't want to pay taxes." Okay, you don't want to pay taxes. Everybody's doing that. Oh no, I feel like I don't owe anybody anything. I don't owe you nothing. Seriously, my mama, brought me in this world. They never sent me any government. And I'm sitting there, I don't owe you nothing. So why do I have to be standing there and pay your taxes? So guess what? I'm out. When it comes about that, I'm out. That's exactly the mindset that those people have. And you cannot get that straight if you don't come up with a better plan and a better smart way. And as I said, in one of my, we went back and forth for a day, and in tweets, as I say, I'm not the only one. 6,000 people responded it today. Among those 6,000, you know who you're reading, and all due respect to you, we don't need a mandate. We just need a vaccine passport, as simply as it is. And anybody that says that it's the same thing, no, it's not the same thing. The wording, it's not the same. With the wording, you can change from fight to wrestle, from wrestle to rumble, to war. So you can choose, and it will sound differently. It may have the same meanings, but it will sound different. And when it sounds differently, Mr. Trudeau, we win this game by making them mandatorily get vaccinated, by just empowering local businesses and other people to continue to request for mandatory entry, staying, purchasing and all going on with the vaccine passport, and it's working fine. You can't go to liquor store to get a liquor if you don't have your vaccine, and it's working. So we don't need to make it loud and clear the vaccines to create a chaos. And you hear this guy as he's saying that if you want a rubber bullets kind of flying, it's gonna make the steel bullet flying all over the uh, um, no, no bloodshed. You know what I'm saying? We stand for no violence. We stand for no bloodshed. We stand for all the equity. We stand for the equality and the better life for every single Canadian. And I cannot allow and I cannot tolerate that any fellow Canadian may encounter any prejudice because they have a different views or different mindset from us. Because they are standing in that level, that makes them right in the sense of them protesting peacefully, them talking peacefully. But I said loud and clear, they're dumb. Yeah, because guess what? I don't want to be having somebody who did not want to get vaccine. It's like we all having a disease that going around, and that's the case. And somebody deciding to not protect himself and say, "Guess what? I'm a robot and I'm immune to it." It's like what we encounter by the teachers who thought the COVID-19 is immune to the teacher because they sit in front of the children. They didn't want to wear no mask. They didn't want to do nothing. But today, all the teachers are going for the third vaccines. Why? Because we made them realize one thing. COVID-19 has no friend. He has no bodyguards. He has no buddies that you respect down there. So you're going to be sitting there and say that because you're a teacher, you are immune to the COVID-19. You are. If you take care of my children, I'll kick you out of the school. That's what I say to my tweet, because this is ridiculous to the level of making me feel like, you know what? I may be black, but I'm even smarter than you are. You are a dumbass. Really? Seriously? Love you all, and that's a personal opinion. Today, you saw teachers are getting stuff right, because guess what? When I put my face in this business, you know how it goes, because they want to be better, they want to be smarter, they want to be wiser, they want to be powerful, they want to be stronger, they want to be, they want to be. I know how it goes, but the best of the best is that you recalibrate what you said, and I call out for you to take out back your mandate and let the people be. I explain. I am not saying that they shall not get vaccinated anymore. I'm just saying, because they're going to United States of America, a lot of them, then let's bias the obtention of visa with the vaccine passport. It's not mandated. It's not mandatory. You are free to not take it. You are free to not take it. But for you to travel to United States of America, for you to have your entry from the United States of America, you need to have a vaccine passport. You don't have a vaccine passport, then me too. You go back home. We withdraw the mandate, and then we are not there to fight with them. But like you said, you and Joe Biden have been speaking all day long. I'm going to read to you what you just said a minute ago, because we went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I think that we agree on this one. And I'm going to read that to you back. Sir, if you may, if I'm not right, you may correct me if I did not get it right. That's why you said, when you say you guys are working closely, I want to know exactly what you mean by that, because me, I do feel strongly that it will be possible just to lock the visa entry to the United States of America bias by the obtention of the COVID-19 to vaccination passport, so that the one who want to go and come down to COVID-19 shall, and I say shall, have his COVID-19 passport. Ladies and gentlemen, I have it right here. It was just about subscribing to my Twitter account went back by 5, and I was like, it's not possible, because I've seen them growing up today. So that I had to refresh the page a few times, so to make sure that my cell phone does not stay in the past, to reflect the present. 2 hours ago, you said, today, I shared a clear message to those taking part in illegal blockade and occupation. We have heard you. I hope we heard you there, is what I'm saying, or other people are saying. You withdrawing right now your mandate, and you are asking them just simply in dummy proof way, as I say to you, in a dummy proof way, vaccination, passport. That's all we need. That's it. Don't make it too smart down there. Don't make it too difficult down there. Don't bring race. But there are consequences for breaking the law, and those consequences are becoming increasingly severe. It's time to go home to your communities. And as I say to you earlier, again, you insisted, you say, today, even today, I and Mr. Biden spoke about the illegal blockades at the border. I updated him on the situation, and we discussed the American and global influence and on the protest. We agreed that the security of the people and our economy, these blockades cannot continue. But I'm offering you an idea here, and I hope that my fellow YouTubers or tweeters or anybody that that subscribe down there, when are we passing a message, they will follow and understand exactly. I, Douglas Chilombo, insist. I am emphasizing on getting the world vaccinated. Getting the world vaccinated. My fight is not to not get vaccinated. That's for kids. Sorry. Since the COVID-19 started, the powerful country of the world put their name on the list to be the first recipient of any vaccine that were coming from any manufacturer. Joe Biden's decided to prove Americans that he was the greatest president ever lived. So in 100 days of his office, he wanted to, vaccinate all America. So he requested and he required 700 million of doses to be delivered in 100 days of his office. And it used to be a big challenge for small countries in Africa to even receive a small part of anything. Mr. Macron from France, for example, to be the second guy, he wanted at least 60 to 100 million doses, before 2022. Mr. Trudeau here was a big champion. He wanted 3 doses for everybody, 1, 2, and the booster before 2022. He's the only one among all of us that we were fighting to get a COVID vaccine that got 2 vaccination and a booster vaccine for 140 million total. So what happened is that those manufacturers, if we put them all together, since they've been manufacturing this thing, they cannot come about 2 to 3 million doses by month. So a lot of countries in Africa, for example, they are now receiving even their first doses, where Canada, for instance, is receiving is a third one. Germany, the same thing. Italy, the same thing. France, the same thing. Belgium, the same thing. So the fight that we were fighting with Mr. Trudeau was that he can actually pay out $2 billion to Pfizer or COVAX or other people, so that we can ship 200 million of doses to the African country that were in the list that didn't receive any vaccine since the COVID vaccine were coming in. We were able, in the region where I came from, because you're sitting there, you're getting blessed and whatever, and you don't want to get vaccinated. And I'm going to explain you the reason why I'm so worked out with it. We had to convince Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the United States, to take out of the 70 million of doses, 5 million doses to ship, for example, in Congo. The first stock we received in Congo was 1.7 million doses for 15 million people in the capital Kinshasa, 105 million Congo-wide. Ladies and gentlemen, understand one thing. You're receiving 1.5 million doses for 105 million people. Why? Because the Prime Minister of Canada, Mr. Trudeau, decided to stock it up from his office like it was like a World War I, World War II for himself. And we've been talking to Harawa, and he was able to pay out the $2 billion just to compensate of his greediness of getting all the vaccine, while all the country in the world didn't even receive the first vaccine yet. Yes, thanks to the Prime Minister, Deputy Miss Freeland, she paid 200 million doses shipped across Africa and the rest of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, you can check this as a fact. And Mr. Trudeau is listening to this video, he knows it's a fact. But we're talking about 100 countries with the minimum occupancy of the people inhabited over 1 million for every 100 million for one country. 20 million is meaningless. Meaningless to the extent that if you guys don't want to get vaccinated, fine. I will ask Mr. Trudeau to, you know what? You've been greedy for no reason. You care for people who don't want to care for you. You know what? Give me back those vaccines. We're fighting worldwide to get those vaccines. And you are sitting there and trying to complain about they ask you to get vaccinated. You know where the Omicron came from, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to tell you today. I'm Douglas Chilombo. Ask them and they'll tell you who I am. Nobody. As I always say, son of man, son of man, son of man. The Omicron virus comes from Nigeria. Nigeria is populated with about 245 million people. 245 million people since the pandemic started, with the rampaging and the savaging and the saga of the powerful country getting vaccine and vaccinated people in the most priority level. Nigeria received only 10 million of doses for 2 years in the waiting line. Money they have, money we have, power to retrieve it we couldn't. So they receive only 10 million doses for 245 million of people. Even if the vaccinated, the most aware one, the most coward one, the most scariest one, whatever, it represents 0.000% of the population, the vaccinated. So that's the fight that I am putting with the Ottawa to get those vaccines back the way it has to go, so that we can vaccinate Black Africans, and your ass is going to be sitting there and do nothing. And ladies and gentlemen, and I love that. Thank you very much. Sorry to tell you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. And Mr. Trudeau didn't even wonder. He talked to Ben Khalid El Hamad, Prince of Qatar, so that they can actually play out to save Qatar, sending them a good... Oh my God, you guys should be fortunate. You got fight. People are fighting for you, and we have been fighting. I've been fighting with the Deputy Prime Minister, Miss Freeland, and Madame Freeland, the Deputy Prime Minister. She had been very open-minded, and she decided to even pay for those people. That's the reason the mandate came in. The mandate was to compensate for the greediness of Canada, who are taking vaccine from the sources to tax your butt because you don't want to get vaccinated, so you can pay more money to pay for the $2 billion that they have put into the community international, so that they can actually secure Canadians, American-wise. And today, you don't want it. I'm glad that you don't want it. I'm glad. I wish I'm a Canadian. I took my 2 vaccines. I don't wish it to be perishing from what he's going through, but I'm really happy that you guys don't want it. That shows how unfair things are, right? So Africa itself, yeah, I'm African, I'm Canadian. I'm gonna talk about it because guess what? You can count me in, you can count me out. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you the truth. 2.5 billion people live in Africa. 2.5 billion of people live in Africa. White, Asian, Chinese, Indians, blacks, you name them. 2.5 billion of people, white, black, Chinese, you name them, Indian who wanted to travel, live in Africa from different country, 54 states, and we have all colors. If I did not take the speech like that before Miss Pamela Harris with my 5 minutes video that I sent it to the White House one day from Twitter, they could not understand that even the 1.7 million of doses in a pitiful way they did it. It was specially done so that we can actually vaccinate some few white folks that lives in Congo so that they can be protected from the COVID-19. And that was the only reason why we were able to convince a 5 million going through for the 4.4, 1.4, so that until we reach 5 million doses so that we can actually vaccinate the people. But we're talking about a number total close to 105 million people that did not get vaccinated. And you know what is sorry about it? You know what is so sorry about it? Those people are testing negative where they are. And as soon as they reach Canada, they tested negative. I just said it. 3 guys come from Nigeria. They tested it negative from where they were, and they landed in Ontario. The next thing you know, they tested it positive with the Omicron. So the fight here is not your black ass or your white ass or your Indian ass to get vaccinated or not. The fight here is to get the rest of the world the vaccine so that we can be equally vaccinated and we can save the planet. I'm sorry, is the truth. I wanted to say it nicely, but how can I do when you guys don't get the point? It had been a very difficult time, very difficult moment. God knows how hard it is to fight with the powerful rich countries, to snatch even one syndrome of a vaccine out of their hand so you can go vaccinate a third world country. You have no idea. I was in Congo in 2020. For 1 week, I cried out loud. I came back in Canada. I fight even Ottawa. 2021, I spent 7 weeks in Africa, trying to convince governments and everybody that you have to be mandated and trying to make people work so that we can get the vaccine through. It has been a pitiful action from Miss Kamala Harris, from Vice President of the United States, to snatch 5 million doses in the stock of the American so that he can release it to African. It has been such a pitiful action from the Prime Minister Deputy Miss Freeland to pay for $2 billion so that we can have 200 million doses shipped out across this country. And we are going to do that and lead the country. It had been a very pitiful situation to get a leader of the whole world like Germany, England, and other country in the world to stop their booster vaccine so that we can use the booster vaccine to start going to the remotest area for Yemen, the remotest area from China, the remotest area from Mongolia, the remotest area from Brazil, the remotest area from Honduras, and area. You have no idea what the world has been through and what the world's going. Oh my God. What's wrong with you? It sucks. I'm telling you. Pfizer don't even want to issue a permit or a license to franchise the product in a different industry. Justin Trudeau had to convince all those people that we can bring the manufacturing of COVID vaccine here in Canada so that we can manufacture it by billions so that we can travel with it across the world and go save the world because Canada is humanitarian. That's the fights that we put in Ottawa. You funny convey, funny tracker, funny thingy, funny thingy. You have eaten, your belly is full, your stomach is full, your account is full of money, you're full of shit, and that's why you foolish yourself like that. You have no idea what we have been through and what we're going through right now. I wish $10 million, 10 million doses in Africa. I have been struggling with the Hadawa. They can't even, the only way I can be in a priority list if one of the powerful country in the world decided to buy it and donate to the country. Because if we cannot donate, we cannot receive it. Because guess what? They are too powerful and greedy for themselves. Joe Biden wanted to prove Trump wrong, wanted to prove all the Republicans wrong. So he took 3 even vaccines. We're talking about 105 millions of doses that have been manufactured, just especially for the United States of America. While the rest of the world, we have not even received a single one dose yet. 2.5 billion people living in Africa. The world is 8 billion. And the North America can only represent 1 or 2 billion people. The rest is the world. And lucky as you are, and ladies and gentlemen, this is what we see people in the streets coming with the Confederation flag, slurring the Nazis talk and stuff like that, screaming freedom of 3 months of getting a free elections where you decided yourself to give Trudeau a minority government. And you want me to tell you you're strong and smart. I wish one thing, that you can come back to your reason. Thank you for thousands of subscribing. Thank you for thousands of participations. I have deleted so many videos and I'm still surprised that you guys still around. I'm very, very surprised. I decided that I'm not gonna show up my face again because I was tired of fighting, tired of conveying idea, tired of being there trying to tell people that this is not about Black Lives Matter. You come with the Confederate flag in Ottawa. I want some freedom because what, they pay you some minimum wages and you have some money in your bank account. No, I don't hate you. I love you. I love you more than you imagine. Only if you grow up. Ladies and gentlemen, Yemen need doses. Mongolia needs no doses. I can tell you Honduras need doses. Chile need vaccines. Mexico need vaccines. Chile, Santiago's, all those people, they need vaccines. And they have not gone to be vaccinated people because the rates of manufacturing and the consumptions of the powerful people like Canada, United States, France, Belgium, Germany, it's way too much. Not only they're getting the second vaccine, they're getting the booster vaccine. They start vaccinating people from 5 years to more. We have grown-ups people in the country. They are not even getting vaccinated. The only reason they're surviving because they're using the Artemisia plant. If you don't know, Artemisia plant, that's the only cure they're doing. They're making a syrup of Artemisia plant. That's what they're surviving with. Otherwise, the predictions that Chinese had to see all those blacks dropping dead like a cockroaches will be happening like a prophecy. Ain't gonna happen. So, first of all, subscribe and we talk. Well, I'm back. I'm back and we talk about deep thing here. You know what I'm saying? We talk about deep thing. I get my office downstairs here. We're gonna be talking, we're explaining you the dynamic and the difficulties that we're having and what we have done and what we have reached at. And I'll give you the perspective out of your little world that you live in, your little small sky that cover your head. Trudeau had been a champion. He had been saving this world. Though he's greedy, as I said, but if we look at other leaders of the whole world, tell you the truth, Ina Merkel, she just finished her power. There's nobody like Trudeau. I'm telling you, I'm Canadian, and you can tell me nothing else, buddy. I know this country from the guts, and I can tell you, we can keep it simple and we can keep it small. But we need to put the vaccine into effect in Canada so that we can be shipping the overflow or the surplus in the different areas. Because what? You said, but why don't they just close the border? We don't want to receive anybody. Yeah. Oh, go for it. All those aerospace company will close down and the economy is already crippled. The aerospace company, American Lines, Air Canada Airlines, KLM, WestJets, and all those people, they have thousands of employees and they can continue to pay them from their pockets, not having any small activity. So, like it or not, they need to fly from one place to the other so they can continue to maintain the economy and the minimum flow cash go in their pockets and paying the employees. And they can just request the people to wear masks and to test negative before the boarding. And they do run a test they call PCR before you board an airplane. The PCR test, it's not a Byron test or quick stage. No, it's really a medical test where they run you throughout to see COVID in a different level. They call it PCR. It's $175 per test and it's not covered by the government. Ask me. I travel internationally and I'll tell you. So, once you do that, then you go get your quick test COVID. People are being tested negative. Unfortunately, once they get in the country, if they will call in French porteurs sains, the porteurs sains with the clean carriers in English, they are clean carriers. They, even though they've been tested, they are clean carriers. Only once they will be in touch with the people, then the viruses they're carrying will mutate from different body to the next body. That's how we had a Delta variant. That's how we have Omicron variant. They are being tested negative by the carriers themselves of the viruses without being sick of it. They are immune to the virus, but they are carrying it. So for you to not contract it, you need to protect yourself. I don't know if it makes sense. Or just my black face that makes sense to you. I traveled across the world. I travel a lot. And I can tell you There are no big politician in the White House or in Ottawa that we cannot reach out and we cannot ring the phone to. Everybody's on Facebook, on Twitters, on every Instagram and on social medias. You don't care, you don't know. That's the point. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you a lot. And my message to you across the world, by thousands and thousands of thousands, you guys are. You come across a small kiosk, the vaccinating people. Do me a due diligence. Do me a favor. Get vaccinated. Remember, Douglas said, get vaccinated. Don't you play around. You don't want an individual in your office, that's your problem. I'm talking to you about 4 million people who lost their lives in the ventilation because they were, a lot of people think like African cannot handle viruses. We deal with Ebola. If you and I are aware of what's going on across the world, let me remind you something. Ebola is the deadliest viruses that ever existed. But it never break through from Africa to different countries. Ever. You know why? Let me tell you a joke. European, they be in Africa and they colonize Africa. It's a motherfucker truth. So when COVID-19 were coming, they just believed they would go back in the 18th centuries where they exterminated the native people from America, from British, right? Give them flu, and all the natives from America died, and the British take the land, become the landowner. That was the plan, to tell you the truth. But one thing they did not understand and did not know, they were not aware about, is that as a Canadian, I can tell you the truth. Those African countries had developed the most sophisticated antivirus system that never existed even across the universe. Why? They dealt with a lot of viruses like Ebola, and Ebola break through more than 13 times. And Ebola break through more than 14 times in the 40 countries. Every single country had the chance to work with the worldwide humanitarians organizations and stuff like that. So they developed a very sophisticated system and the alert system to alert people that this is the virus's breakthrough. People are well trained to face viruses and the breakthrough of viruses, because Ebola, it's not COVID-19. Ebola kills in 7 days. You contract Ebola today. 3 days later, your eyes is bleeding, your ears bleeding, your mouth's bleeding. The 4th day, you cannot be saved. The 5th day, they have to kill you or they have to isolate you. The 6th day, you die. And the 7th day, if you are not strong enough or you are strong enough, you stand up to the 7th day, you dead. There is no 14 days isolation for you to follow treatment. Ebola kills in 6 days. 7 days if you're stronger. 55,000 people drop down. Every single time the drop down was crazy. But it never broke throughout to the universe. You know why? The Artemisia plant, as I said earlier, developed, find out, syrup, and all that. They made even appeals out of it, and it becomes such a regular thanks to the genius of people. COVID-19 will become regular. The pills are coming. We're working on the pills. But for the time being, I love you and I love you a lot. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Get vaccinated. And I know you want to go watch YouTube, mingle with these people. They be camping outside Ottawa. Mr. Trudeau fly out of the office. The scheme in which we're talking Trudeau is just a number. I tried to explain to you. If he was not a great leader for this country, guys, let's God bless you. I love you a lot, right? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Douglas. This is not Douglas Chilombo official, but this is the Angelic Live Media. We're back. I'm not gonna go to the Quebec news today because I'm kind of tired already. And for you, the DTC Canada News, if you come across it, subscribe. The politics is very different from every single platforms. And I thank you very much, y'all that subscribe it in the YouTube and the Facebook pages, and you keep on coming by thousands and thousands, thousands. God bless you to be aware of what I'm saying and really find values in what I am saying, because like I'm saying, I am saying it loud and clear, and I don't hide anything from anybody. I love the world, and I've been struggling to fight for the world to be fair across the universe. My battles are not just waking up in the morning to go get a coffee and chill in a small atmosphere with the little sky above your head and coming in and start hallucinating yourself about what you think you are. We've been through a lot, and even Trudeau, as I say, knows that. We used to call him up when before he was even a deputy. He started running a Papineau here, and we were one of the people in the ridings to go vote for him, to campaign for him way back in the days. You know what I'm saying? He used to come to the parties every weekends and every single once in a while. The community were receiving it, a black community, and I'm telling you, was receiving him as a potential prime minister of the country way back in the days. And God bless, he became a prime minister way above your expectations. And we people a lot in the Steve and all the other people that were gathering him today, they're not even close to him, because you see, it becomes the government of minority and all going on. But people are heroes in the backstage. People are heroes all over the world. People are heroes, and we're not here to claim any credits. We have due respect, and we do believe that he's doing a great job. Though we do not appreciate, if you're gonna ask me about the deficit of the country's been around a deficit badly, $360 billion deficit for some deficit that was supposed to be stabilized around $55 billion. We tried $23 billion and tried to buy the pipelines and all going on. The country did not well receive a lot of projects that we put forward. We continue to work closely with the Ottawa governments. The new one is explained. I'm not talking about the institutions. I'm talking about the people occupying the office. And we hope that soon, very soon, we open the economy, everything goes back to normal. And when we mean everything goes back to normal, Canada has no choices to start handing out the visa. And I can tell you, by the time right now, it's not confidential, 215,000 visa had been handed out. It was supposed to be confidential, but I'm not going to keep it down to you. 250,000 visas have been given out to people from outside the country. Those people, I don't know if they're vaccinated or they're not vaccinated. Some of them have siblings, brothers, cousins. How it goes. They are spreading across the country very fast, and they are vanishing from sight as soon as they arrive. And I can tell you that, yes, you don't want to get vaccinated. Thank you very much. If you drop like zombies and die, you were aware of these things. But right now, because they barricaded all the borders, we want peace be back. We're working on Ottawa closely so Mr. Trudeau can actually mellow down with his mandate so that he already said we heard you. As I heard that. He said we heard you because as I say, since yesterday, 2 days ago, I've been struggling with him. I'll say, bro, come on, yes, I am, like my friend, like what's up? This is me. And don't we've been talking, and I said to you, don't worry about power in the office. The son of Trudeau, the prime minister, is a very nice guy, and he's not. The beautiful about him, he doesn't forget where he came from. The beautiful about him, he does not forget who he mingled with before. He doesn't forget who he chat with when he was in a campaign. He doesn't forget who he talked to when he was saying, go to the polls, go make it right. He doesn't forget all these things. So we're not gonna, say anything. I believe, I can assure you, you are in Angelic Light Media. By the next 3 days to come, the mandate will fall off. I can guarantee you. I can read that to you again. Because as I say, he say nobody's gonna go down, but I say to him, I say we talk, and I back and forth, and I was like, we need to come up with some good plan. Yes, I know from time to time I never really want to bother because I was focusing on African government, as I'm telling to you, so that we can save and smite them to be better. And now that I'm tired of y'all being ridiculous, so we're gonna be go back to talk again. Sorry if you offended. If you offended, you can sign up. Because I'll be telling you even more very, very tough things. If you're not as offended, sign up again and subscribe because we're going to be sharing the truth and write the truth. Jesus was killed because he will say, vote to you all. Vote to you, Sir Pharisee. Vote to you because you dumb. Vote to you because you hypocrite. Vote to you. Jesus was cursing people. He will say, vote to you, Pharisees. Vote to you, stupid, if I have to go to my term. So don't come here and try to saint me out because you don't get it right. Thank you very much for you. And if you offended and you wanna you wanna unsubscribe, unfortunately you will miss a lot of good things because I repeat again, today I share a clear message to those taking part in illegal blockades and occupation. We have heard you, we have heard you, period. You know what I'm saying? But there are consequences for breaking the law. So if you're breaking the law, you're going there and stupidly breaking the law, there will be consequences. But your message had been received. He was not recipient to listen to everything you're saying. Candice Bergen, the leader opposition of Conservative Party, cried out. She cried out. She didn't want to listen. Jack Singh spoke out. I can make you. He did the video. He didn't listen. But we worked closely. Not me. And I said 6,000 of people today. We've been funneling with him, sitting with him back and forth, and so that we can actually make him reason that this country requires more. And I reminded him a lot of things that we went through, how we hand out the vaccine into different countries of the world, how we paying out even for subsidies for those countries because we take the third vaccine out of their hands, how those people are in a bad shape, and we can now close our frontier borders really when it comes about aerospace things and let long distance traveling people come into countries, and those people, we cannot stop this pandemic if we do not do our due diligence. And you may be tired of me, but I'm taking this time today, and even today, the 11th of February, to tell you the truth. And the truth that the battle that we're fighting right now, it's not to go against the vaccine, but to snatch the vaccine out of the hands of Mr. Trudeau so that we can give it to those who don't have yet vaccine. That's the fight we want to do. If you want to join me in this movement, you know the page. You go to the Angelic Light Media News, or you go to DTC Canada News, or you go to Douglas Chilombo Official. You guys know the drill. You go to Quebec News. Also, page, you subscribe, and so that we can take our matters to him so that the world can continue to be fairly treated, because those junk countries with a lot of money, they actually are now cooperative when it comes about sharing the trade peacefully, and listen now to people now they have vaccine stored in their banks, nothing to do with it, and then they're coming in the block in the economy because they don't want to get vaccinated, and they are not even by millions, there are few of them. Ladies and gentlemen, it's disgusting. And I agree with Mr. Trudeau when he say it's really disgusting. And I'm telling you, it's disgusting, because if you knew exactly what we've been through, what we're doing for this country, you won't be sitting there and trying to blockade the whole road, because you are living in your little moonshine of your alcohol from SIQs and stuff like that, and you have no idea what we've been through, what we are calling for. And I thank you if you don't understand. I'm gonna close this broadcasting because I was warming myself up, but now I think I have done it, and you've done it, and you have done it, and it's very wonderful. I love you. Let's work to get the Deputy Prime Minister, Miss Freeland, to make a word true. What about that? We can do before 2023, come up with 1 billion doses that we shipped across the world and paid out from Canadian pockets, my pockets, because they'll be like, oh, the thing is, but you don't want it. What about that? Let's make sure that the 4 years ahead of Mr. Trudeau, we emphasize and aim to the aids in a humanitarian attitude of Canada, so that we can get vaccine across the world to the most needy country, so that we can make the hero of vaccination, Mr. Trudeau, pay for the rest of the countries where he snatched the booster doses, the booster vaccines. He snatched the booster vaccine from our hands. It's not about money. It's just because he played too powerful. And he has to pay for it. Or he donates. He said he heard you. So I can tell you guys no one. I tell you, calm down, calm down. The matter had been handled. The vaccine mandate will be withdrawn. We won't talk about it. But the vaccine passports will be the vocabulary that we will be running around, so that we can less have them going around and thinking they know the world. I don't know the world yet. I'm looking for partners. I'm looking for friends. I'm looking for people who are willing to make a difference. If you are across the world, I know you may be in Neymar. You are millions, thousands of thousands for you. Look at this Twitter that's coming up. Look at that you guys are coming up. Thank God you guys are coming up. I know you guys are a lot. When I will post this video there, I'm looking for partners. Be an agent where I will call for you. Your benevola is very important to me. Your message sharing in your region, it's very crucial. Your part of handling of this generation will be in making this world great again. Ladies and gentlemen, love you a lot. Let you go. Thank you very much. Subscribe.